Welcome to Series 3 of the Callisto Grand Big Change podcast. In this series, we explore and reveal the personal and professional sides of senior executives from large companies. Reaching the top in any field is never straightforward, requiring many years of personal investment and dedication. I'm Mark Harrison, founder of Callisto Grand. Over there in Hungary is my colleague Esther Gabriel, and today's guest is Frank Hoekstra, the CEO of Order2Cash. Order2Cash originated as Anacron in 2002, specializing in electronic invoicing. In the intervening years, Anacron expanded into a global provider of end-to-end solutions in the Order2Cash arena, hence the name change to reflect this. Order2Cash has truly revolutionized accounts receivable automation with a suite of SaaS solutions providing integration of the entire Order2Cash process, covering everything from customer onboarding and credit scoring through to contracting, invoicing, payments, and credit management. With an unparalleled interoperability network, they offer seamless connectivity to over 700 ERP systems and a large number of B2B and B2G invoicing networks. Today, the company has more than 500 clients across the globe, employing 85 people in 4 offices. So, good afternoon, Frank.
Hello, Mark.
Good. So the Order2Cash head office is in Amsterdam. Is that your hometown?
No, I live about 25 kilometers from the office in a town called Huizen. So that's more to the center of the Netherlands.
What are your recollections then of your early days and growing up and so on?
I was born at a small farm where I lived for 6 years. So my dad stopped with farming. The farm was too small, and he didn't earn a proper salary. So after a few years, finally he became a concierge at a school. My mom worked at the same school, and she was making and selling the coffee.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. So my parents both did not have the opportunity to get to higher education, and they challenged me and my 2 brothers to make use of our capabilities and to go to the university. So that was one of their I would say one of the main goals in life.
So what was your journey then from through schooling and so on, and to into university and to where you are today?
Yeah, let's see. My best friend's dad, he was an auditor. So due to him, I knew what I would like to study. So I went to Groningen and to study business economics at a university. So after I finished, I got a job as an auditor, working for Pricewaterhouse, which is in these days known by PricewaterhouseCoopers. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, I studied postgrad for becoming a chartered accountant, which I almost finished until I got the opportunity to set up together with a friend a software company. We had an agency with an Austrian software company, and we became reseller and to sell their sales and marketing software in the Benelux. Now these days the software tool is now more famous under the name of CRM software. So after 1 year, we were acquired by the software company. I became responsible for the sales for the main product. And I think a year later, the company went public on the Neue Market in Germany, and it was the Neue Market is a part of the German stock exchange, and I think we went to public on somewhere in February 2001.
So you were working for PwC and you were an auditor and so on. So that must have been quite a quantum leap then, because you had a very secure position and obviously, I guess, progressing through the organization. So what was the kind of catalyst then that made you jump from what was a very secure environment into something that was probably more exciting, but perhaps risky as well.
Yeah, let's say maybe on one end was risky, but let's say at the time, I still had, my wife has a really good job as well. So
okay,
for me, it was not that risky. I could take the opportunity to do something else, and maybe after a year, if it didn't work out, I would become an auditor again.
Okay.
So after 6 years, I decided to start working for this software company, or to set up our own software company actually, because I didn't really get a lot of energy out of this auditing job. You always at the end of the decision making, actually, you don't have any impact on any decisions. You're just there. You're hired to finally get a signature on the statutory accounts of that specific company. So when I said, okay, no, I want to be on the other side of the table. So I think that was the main reason.
But I guess it was a good grounding, though, that you saw quite a few different companies and how they operated, and then got to the point that it's all pretty much the same from this perspective. Like you said, you're confirming this company is going to be around for another 12 months. That's part of the audit duty, right? And so on and so on. Yes.
Yeah. So you learn a lot about processes within companies. I worked for all kind of different companies, from a 5-star hotel to a soccer club like Ajax and IBM. So all different types of company types. So really interesting.
Okay, so you've been at Order to Cash then, as you said, for the best part of 20 years now, which is like all of the 2000s, more from early 2002, you said, which was probably like this millennium has been a time of a real kick on in technology. It's really kind of rocketed forward again, hasn't it? So what would you say has changed in your time at Order to Cash?
Let's say when I joined Order to Cash, almost it was in June 2002. Let's say, of course, I had the experience of selling software, so that was quite important. But also joining Enrol at a time that it was a combination of technology and financial processes. So that's what I liked about the company, and that's why I decided to join Enrol. But let's say about 7 years ago, I think we had quite an extensive customer base with selling our e-invoicing platform. We found out that we didn't grow fast enough. And so we developed a new strategy. So actually, we developed the Order to Cash strategy to sell, besides e-invoicing module, also credit management, collections, cash allocations, and payments. So I think it was really important, but I think the main change was when we were able to buy URL ordertocash.com at an auction.
Okay.
So we changed our name from Enrol into Order to Cash, and for that moment on, we really we became really an Order to Cash selling company. So I think that was definitely the main game changer at the time.
It's certainly good for a hashtag, isn't it? When you hashtag Order to Cash, so it pulls everybody into your area. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, correct. It's a nice buzzword, and we see that a lot of people are using this as a searching term, which is really good.
Yeah, so that was an inspired kind of foresight, how to bring more people your way. So more power to you. And then so there's been many changes as we were just discussing, but what would you say of the old ways are still relevant today and will remain so as well?
If you just look to order to cash and the software we are selling, I think at the moment we just launched. That was in November. We launched our fourth technology. So we built the platform for the fourth time. Completely new. So I think this is something you really have to take into account, that the technology shifts is moving really fast, and if you want to keep up the pace with to become one global market leader, you also have to keep the pace with the technology. And that's what we do. So on one hand, I think this is really important. On the other hand, processes like order to cash, let's say, it doesn't really matter if you're selling cars, or if you're having a lease car company, or you're selling paint. Order to cash processes are all the same with these companies. So that makes it quite I would say unique. Selling one platform could fit to I would say all the businesses across the globe. So that's really a thing.
Understanding your customer for which parts of your offering that are best applicable to what the client wants as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And also if you just look to the global space of order to cash processes, and especially if you just look to what local governments at the moment are doing to get their VAT income in as a taxpayer, so they build set up government platforms where companies has to deliver their invoices, and this is really also something which is bringing, let's say, the order to cash space in a higher pace at the moment. So it's really interesting what's currently going on.
Is the clearance models and so on you're referring to there, which is incredibly complex, isn't it? Or it's more and more going to be so.
Yeah, correct. I think on one hand you have the clearance model, which is more I would say the countries who are more in the south, like Latin America. We have it in Italy and a lot of other countries. Governments are thinking of adopting such model as well. But if you just look to the Nordic countries and countries like the Netherlands and Germany, they just believe on the trust of the organization processes within that specific company and the size of the company. So they host several different models.
Yeah, so it's going to continue to get more and more challenging, but good opportunities for you guys. So not many people can sustain the role that you have. It's almost constant travel, and obviously you have the ultimate responsibility for the success and your employees. There must be times when you want to just take time out, and just kind of hide. How do you motivate yourself and your teams in those moments when you're just you're pretty tired, shall we say?
So let's say I have quite a lot of energy, and let's say the people where I work with, and but also the growth of the company. If you take into account that we will grow this year around 35% in revenue, so that's quite a lot. So without any private equity money, so So I think that's also quite unique in the market. But yeah, let's say what I'm. Let's say I get really energy out of the people I work with. So that's really important. But also I go 3 to 4 times to the fitness club. But of course, with the COVID, they're closed these days. So I just have to do some exercise on my rowing. What is it?
Rowing machine. You got a rowing machine at home, yeah? So
Yeah, correct. I have. But that's, let's say, I wanted this boring, but it's good for your health. So that's so that's a good thing. And of course, besides spending a lot of time for the O2C company, I also like to travel with my family, in some of the seasons. I like to go to a soccer game, to Ajax. Games are open. You will always find me there when there is a home game. So and sometimes when there is a Champions League game, I also go with my business partner Marco to these games. So it's also you have to get a good balance between business and private. So that's really important.
But it's interesting what you said earlier, though, that how you set ambitious targets for the workplace, which kind of generates an energy from yourself, and then that's. I think one of the interesting things about these interviews is how energy is kind of contagious, and it has to come from the top, doesn't it? The energy and the enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And then that cascades down. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I definitely believe in that. So if you're not passionate about your what you're doing, about your company or what you're selling, how can you make sure that your sales team, your employees are, so I think that's important, but also what we try to do, to give as much as responsibility to our team members, so that they can express themselves on a high level as well. So I think that's important. And then you have to work as a team. I've tried to work as a team, and that's also sometimes challenging. With when you have different departments, when you have different offices in far countries, and when you have people from many countries and working for you in the company, so yeah, that's. But that's also enthusiastic, and I, as a leader, I absolutely drive change as well, not from a strategic point of view, but also from and more making the company more efficient. So and challenge people on working on these processes. So I think that's quite interesting.
I mean, your passion and enthusiasm comes through. Where do you think that drive comes from? Because not everybody kind of says, I'm going to do what you do. I'm going to leave that comfortable job we referred to earlier and push yourself into new environments. Do you think that comes from when you were younger, or is it something you picked up on the way?
No, let's say that's always how I am. I'm looking for. Let's say if you stand still, I think then you finally go back. So especially these days, there's so many things to learn. I learn still every day. And new technologies. Met different culture, so I think, and that's what I like. I get energy out of it. So, and that's hopefully I'm bringing over to the O2C team as well. And but also, my wife is also having a certain really enthusiasm and positive energy. So I think that. Also, we give to each other, and maybe even, put us sometimes on a higher level as well.
Competing at home too.
But on a really nice way, So that's really good.
And I think one of the interesting things you said, and it's a valuable point for others to take away, is you made reference to the fact that there's other cultures, the countries you travel to, and so on, and to actually appreciate that you are in another country, that you have the opportunity to do so, and to acknowledge that fact. I it sometimes kind of feels as because it's a lot easier to do these things these days, that people just say, oh yeah, I'm in another country, yeah, whatever, and I think we're probably like-minded there. You kind of go, wow, I'm in the USA or wherever you are, and there's still a little bit of that wow factor to it.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's let's say it's almost a present, when you're are able to work abroad,
Yes.
when you are able to travel, tasting different foods, meet different cultures. I think for me that's I get energy out of it, but also making some trips in the nature is also in the specific countries also really it's, I would say it's a big win.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and I think there is that thing. You just kind of seize the day, don't you? You think, I'm in another country. I may not be coming here again. Let's explore whatever we can. Like you say, whether it's the nature could be a botanical garden in the city or whatever, But see as much as you can whilst you're there. Because I've made that mistake. Sometimes I've been on business travel and been to some places, and I think next time I'll go and see it, and I'll have a tour around, and the next time never happened. My job changed or whatever. Anything, all I had to do was go out and not do 10 emails or whatever, just walk around the city. It's right there. So I think that's a very valuable lesson to take away. It is really seize the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Although, I'm not able to do that all the time as well. We have, for example, we have an office in Krakow already for 6 or 7 years now, and I never been to the. Of course, I strolled the city through the city, but I never been to the to Auschwitz, for example. I think which is something I really want to go to. But I promised that myself already for a couple of years, but until now didn't make the time for it. So it's also, also list. There you have to balance.
Next time.
Absolutely.
Okay. So if you could sit down and have a beer with the 18-year-old Frank, what career or life advice would you give?
Let's say, I think the most important thing, do what you want and good in, but also where you get energy from. I think that's the most important thing. Follow your heart, follow your passion. I think that's the best advice I can give to everybody. I think it doesn't really matter what you're studying but if you really like it, you become an expert in it. You get energy out of it. I think that's something which. And I believe it's really gonna help and is working. So follow your heart.
That what you say there about follow your heart, I think that's the most important message. I think that's if you have an idea, you have a notion, you have a dream, at least try. Even if it doesn't work out, at least try. Yeah?
Oh, absolutely. I can give you an example. My kids, especially my oldest one. He thought that he need to go to study business economics or something similar as my wife and I did, But we said, okay, no, do what you like, It doesn't really. It is not. You have to do it where you follow your own path, and not what we did, So he he made a decision and completely different, So and I think that's really good, Do what you like, do where you get energy out of it. Yeah,
I can certainly go with that. Yeah, do what's for you and not what you think it should be for the sake of other people.
Yeah, correct. And I know this is it can be very hard, At least that's. I can speak for myself and my wife. We always followed our own path. And I think that that brings us to where we want to be, you know. So that's really nice.
Just to finish off, Frank, and I think you've mentioned it a little bit there, but as Frank Hoekstra, the father, the friend, and not the CEO, what are your personal hopes and dreams for the future?
I think especially when we all, I wouldn't say suffer, but when the COVID pandemic is around, you know what most important is, and that's your health, you know. So I think that's of course really important, you know. Stay healthy as long as possible, you know, and then enjoy life and do what your personal interest is, and follow that path, you know, because that gives energy and positive energy, and I also believe that this positive energy gives you also a better mental health. So I think that brings you further. But you know, on the other hand, I also would like to a lot of plans on traveling when after the O2C story for me is over. But you know, I think so many countries still to go to. So there's still a long wish list, which I hope I'm able to go to see most of them.
Having known you for a few years now, and so having spoken to you for the last half an hour, I think there's very little doubt that your energy and your passion, your enthusiasm is going to get you wherever it is you want to go. So, Frank, it's been a really enjoyable discussion today, and I'm really looking forward to sharing this to a much wider audience. I think a lot of people are going to pick up a lot of good tips and inspiration. So, Frank, thank you very much indeed.
Okay, it was my pleasure, Mark.
Good man. Thanks a lot. Thank you,
okay.
sir.